YouTube. It's Brother Dennis. And I have to give God all the glory. Well, these hawks are pressuring me. And I'm on top of me making mistakes. I'm losing birds. So let's talk about what happened Sunday. So I wanted to take my birds for their first training toss, and I did. About a quarter mile away, I basketed them up. I rode them around for about a half an hour. Then I let them settle for about 5 minutes. I let them out about a quarter mile away from the loft, not too far. They could actually see. I don't know if you can see out my loft, but there's a football field over here at the end of my road, and I let them out on the other end of that football field. It's hard to see, but they can almost see the loft from where I let them go at. It's like a quarter mile away. And they came, they made good time. I tossed 17 birds is what I had, and all 17 came back. Here's where the problem happened. 4 birds I held back, 2 babies, and then I held back this Vern Clausen bird, I think is a hen, and then I also held back James's bird, which is actually right next to it, right here. I held this bird back. So I don't know, I think it may be a male, I don't know, or a big female, I don't know. But I held these 2 back. And I held 2 babies back. So what happened was, there was one bird in here who's a really, I believe it's that one. This dude is like a dominant cock already. It's like he ain't. So anyway, because I held this bird back, that's why she got the green band on her leg. And then you see I got double green, there's the green bands on their legs, so I know to hold them back. This bird served a purpose on my team. This bird like dropped really fast, boom, and led other birds into the nest. But on that toss, this bird, or into the loft, on that toss, I didn't have that bird with them. So they didn't trap right away. They flew around, they loft flew. And so because there was loft flying, I decided to let James's bird, that bird, and the 2 youngsters out. Well, the 2 youngsters only been out a few times, but they're settled. So I decided to let them birds out so they could loft fly too, because I was sitting in my chair in the yard and I was watching everything. And I noticed that I had a ledge here. I had a ledge right here. And I noticed that that bird, when he trapped in, he trapped in the first group, like 8 birds trapped in. He started dancing on the loft right here, on the ledge. The other birds started trapping in, he wouldn't let him in. So I said, you know what, I'm tired of that. I went and got the screw gun out my shed. When I came back in, I was taking this ledge off. As I was taking this ledge off, the other birds was waiting on the roof because they weren't going to trap in while I was here. All of a sudden, I heard the birds scatter. I ran outside. I didn't see anything. So I put the screw, at the same time I was done with the ledge. So I put the screw gun up real quick. I threw the wood over there in the wood pile, and I sat in my chair. And I looked around, I didn't see nothing. I seen the birds were gone or whatever. So I said, you know what, maybe they just ranged off again. But what was disturbing me is I didn't see my 2 baby birds. So it was Sunday morning, it was time for me to go to church. So I grabbed my chair, I walked over towards the gate, and that's when I seen the hawk with one of my baby birds in the street. Had the baby bird down. So the hawk seen me, flew away. I was able to grab the baby bird, but it was dead. It took a couple breaths and it died right in my hand. But at least the hawk didn't get it. So now I'm fuming at this white bird. I'm really mad at that bird. I'm more mad at myself for leaving the ledge up so he could do that. So he's going back and forth on this ledge, and it cost me the baby bird basically because I wasn't paying attention. The hawk was able to snatch the baby bird right off the roof. And all right, so I'm really upset because I was trying to protect those baby birds. I knew they were babies. I knew hawks was out, so I kind of let my birds down, right? So I'm really mad. So I was mad, right? More mad at the hawk, more mad at myself, and then mad at the pigeon for, the pigeon was just doing what he was supposed to do. So I really couldn't, once I thought about it, I really couldn't be mad at the pigeon, the male. So I left it alone. Then I noticed as my pigeons came back from that hawk scatter, I was missing 3 more birds. Missing a black eagle, I'm missing a Tom Barnhart, and I'm missing my Matus 109 bird, which is the bird I had the longest bird, my last Matus bird. But I didn't worry about the Matus bird because it's been gone. It had gotten a hawk attack before. It was gone for like a week, and it came back. And I was like, I know it'd be back. So that night, the Tom Barnhart bird came back. The next morning, which was this morning, I went. The Matus bird and the black eagle were gone still. So I packed up the rest of the birds, did another toss. Tossed them. When they came back, same thing. They didn't want to trap. They wanted to fly around. They didn't come straight in. I once again, I did not toss the mealy, I guess you call it, from the Texas bird, who's always first to trap. And I didn't toss James's bird, because those 2 birds I plan on holding back. Now I'm rethinking, should I hold the mealy back? Because the mealy's a good trapper. So I don't know. It's like, but she's not the best flyer. I mean, she's always flies and loft flies, but when they come back around, she's the first one to drop, and she traps right in. So it's like, I don't know. It's like I want to not lose those birds. Definitely not flying James's bird, because there's no reason, because it doesn't have a life band. So I'm just risking it. So I'm angry. Now, the next day, I did another toss, a quarter mile the other way. All the birds come back. They didn't trap right, but they all got in. When I come back from the toss, the black eagles in. Tom Hartberg came back last. So the only bird I'm missing now is Matus 109, Silvio's bird, which is my best bird. Like my oldest bird, my first young birds that I bought. He was the last of those, the most senior bird in my young bird loft. And he's MIA. I don't think the Hawks had got him. I don't think he's dead. But I just think he's scattered somewhere. And I'm praying he comes back. So that's the one mistake I made. Here's another mistake that I made. I was trapping some young birds out of this side over here. And I was trying to get them settled on that side. So now when my birds come back, 3 or 4 of the young birds want to trap on that side. They don't want to trap in this side. So now I'm messed all up, because they're trying to trap over there instead of coming to where I want them to trap at. Now you see birds over here. These are 3 of my breeder hens that I have moved over. A couple of the young birds I moved over out the loft. They're babies. And this bird here sitting on the perch is the nest mate to the bird that was killed. That's the bird I was trying to protect. So that's another mistake I made. I've taught my birds to trap in over here and over there. Some of them over there, some of them over here. So now they're confused. I want them all to trap over here. So now I got to retrain some of them. So what I'm doing with this side over here is I use that cheap trap. And my birds can get out of that trap. It's not a one-way trap if they can go out, if they can squeeze through. So what I'm using that trap for is only the trap train, is to teach them how to come through the bobs, get used to the bobs. I'll force them out, drop the bobs, throw the feed down. Here's my another mistake that I made. I didn't pay enough attention on calling my birds in, calling them in. So when they come back, I can't get them to trap. Even if I put the food down, I call them, they won't come in. So I didn't train them well enough for feed. Even though I got them hungry and starving, and it's like, I don't want to underfeed them till they have no energy at all. You see their food bowl is empty now. They got food over there because there's young birds over there. I'm trying to teach them, wean them. So I'm trying to get them to understand that that's how they get fed now and not depend on their mothers. So those are weaning, not flying any birds on this side for a week and a half. No easy hawk bait. No loft flying, only tossing for right now. And I feel bad for James's bird and for the mealy, because that means they're not going to be going outside, because I'm not loft flying nothing. And I'm not tossing them. I'm definitely not tossing James's bird. I might toss the mealy. I'm not sure. Those are the mistakes that I've made, and it's cost me birds. Ledge, when it wasn't supposed to be no ledge here. You see the ledge is gone now. It's gone. So there was a ledge here. It's gone. And not trap training my birds well enough to where I can call them in on instant call. Because the hawk was out today. He was out. I stayed in that yard for an hour and a half trying to get these birds to trap. And the last one to come in was black-banded bird. And I had to open that trap over there to get it to come in. Then I got to push all the birds over here because I'm afraid that they'll squeeze out through that bob system over there. So what I'm thinking about doing is when I loft fly tomorrow or the next day is to put a tarp over that so they can't even see it. Is maybe put a tarp over that side. So it's really to the point that one of the birds is still trap trained to that side. They all trapped into this side. So if I can get them to trap train, if I can get that one bird, where is it at? It's right here, this bird. It's a young bird, but it's not that young. So this bird is still not trapping on this side where I want it to trap at. But I have some good looking birds. I have some contenders, I think. Tom Barnhart birds are looking really good. I like them dark colored, grayish, dark birds. Man, I really like them birds. I still have 5, I think, out of the 7 that I got from him. So I lost one the very first day I tried to settle him. He never came back. So there's one out there. Yeah, so I got one out there, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I got 5, I think, left by the Tom Barnhart. I got them all written down, the 17 birds that 17 bird, well now it's 16 because I can't, Matus 109 is not here. So I got 16 birds as of right now. Hopefully Matus 109 shows up the next day or two. All the birds when they low flew today, when they came back, I let them take a bath. So they were out there taking a bath. I'll leave that bath until tonight. I'll come out like 4 in the morning like I normally do, mess with the dogs. And then I'll take that. And I'm actually going to take it down and set it and give it to the breeder males over there, the cocks. I'm going to let them get a bath tomorrow. They have, so I have one baby in the nest that's almost grown, 2 babies that are almost coming out. And then I got 2 babies that are coming out, and I think I have 2 nests that have actual babies in it, new babies. 2 nests, so 4 more. So I got 2, and then 4, and those are old bird. Actually, those are for the old. And then I stopped breeding. I'm gonna tear the box fronts off tomorrow, clean those boxes out. 3 of the boxes I tore. I got the hens over here, and I'm getting ready to move. Once the other hens lay their next round of eggs, I'm going to throw them eggs away and move the hens and let the cocks finish off the babies by themselves. And it is what it is. I'm done breeding. I know it's late, really late. But like you said, I've been losing so many birds. I had to try to keep my numbers up somehow. You know, so I should have 10 young birds to try to get trained this fall for the old bird season, plus whatever I have left from my young bird season. I was going to use some of them as replacements on the young bird season, but I don't think so. I think I'm just going to use them all as old birds for next year, young old birds for next year, next fall. So I have something, hopefully, for old birds. So as of right now, it's 16 young birds. Now, we'll make an exception for that one Mr. 500 kid over there, the one that nestmate to the one that got murdered Sunday, because that bird is an older young bird. It's just don't have no experience because I've been afraid to let it out. But I have to let my young birds out because if I don't, they'll fly away. So I'm going to give them like a week and a half, and then I'm going to move them over here a week to wean, and then I'll move them to this side and start trap training them out this slough. I'm not going to make the same mistake and use that side. And that side will be for the hens, and it'll be for the weaning babies to move over first to get used to a trap, and then move over here to get settled. And then I'll build another loft this in the next month or so. I need another loft. I need another section. So YouTube, that's where I'm at. These mistakes have cost me pigeons. The ledge was the minor mistake that cost me pigeons. Trap training them to 2 different sides was a rookie mistake. That'll never happen again. I'm gonna trap train to the side I'm flying out of, and not The biggest mistake I've made is I don't have control of my birds with the food. I'm not controlling my birds properly. I'm not calling them in. And maybe that'll change when they fly bigger, longer tosses, 20 miles, 40 miles, 80 miles. They're going to want to trap in more to get to the food, to get to the water. You know what I mean? So maybe that'll change. But tell me what you think. Should I fly that bird because it's a good trapper? It comes down fast. It brings birds down into the trap. Or should I hold it back because it's a Vern Clausen bird? See, I like pedigrees and I like good birds and all that, but also I'm a young loft. I can buy breeders. I want to build my loft on performance. So I'm torn. I guess you have to have a balance somewhere. Stock birds. I see a lot of top flight people stocking birds, not even flying them. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just two trains of thought. When I was talking to Adrian P. as a young flyer, and I got a lot of my startup knowledge from him, he told me don't worry about breeders first 2 years or whatever. Like base your loft off performance. If the birds don't perform, don't breed them. And he was like, man, that's why when he sent me the birds, I asked him about the pedigree. He said, man, look, all you know is I'm flying the same birds. These are the birds in my loft. That's what all the pedigree you need to know. So I took it on I took it and ran with it because he's a successful flyer, and I see other people with his bloodline in their lofts. I think Mike from Rocky Ridge, Stratus loft. I know Matus has a pair, or at least a strain of Adrian P. birds. So I've seen a lot of people with his bloodline, so I know he's respected, and I think his uncle is a really good flyer, and a lot of his birds come from his uncle. So it is what it is. I'm on the performance right now. I need these birds to perform, but also I understand that man has been breeding pigeons for 80 years. Vern Clausen, see, I think, yeah. I think if I don't fly the birds out of this loft, like if they're not on my race team, they shouldn't be in this loft. That's why I need another section, because I don't want birds to be afraid to trap in because they're getting bullied or punked on or none of that. Well, anyway, YouTube, you know what it is. Videos getting long. Keep flying them. I'm gonna keep trying, and I'll see you on the next one.